I faced the challenge, and I'm going to show, this was done some time ago, and it's 2 different exposures. So this is actually client's Yorkie, and that's the original jersey, is the little Yorkie's name. And I got paid a wonderful compliment on this particular portrait here. This is actually a watercolor, and there's 2 different exposures. You can see the variations there, and so forgive that glare. Because it's a little with the glossy finish on this photo. Hope it's not reflecting too much. I think I personally like this one a little better. And my friend told me, well, she's a friend and client, but she had made mention that her brother came over and said, "Oh wow, I really like the portrait you have of your dog." And she said, "Oh, that's not a portrait, that's an actual painting that I commissioned my friend to do." So that was a very nice, because from a distance he thought it was actually a photograph. So it's very close to the photograph. There again, I did my best to capture little jersey there on the kind of wicker-like woven chair, and then you have some floral action happening in the background there. So in this watercolor, I really love watercolor, and I thought watercolor would be the best way to execute to capture the likeness, plus doing the fur and all. It's just one of those mediums that I really enjoy working with. And a lot of people through the years that I know who use different mediums actually don't like watercolor that much, to my surprise. They said it's a difficult medium to work with, but I've never had, like anything, like with acrylic, you have to just kind of, it's a layering process, so you have to kind of, you know, do at least 2 or 3 applications in order for it to take, in my opinion. But so doing this particular animal was very fun. I had a good time doing it. I actually tell people 2 weeks when I'm doing a portrait or I'm doing something of an animal. So there again, that's the original, and then there is the actual. So the reason why I'm showing this is because I was commissioned to actually do this little guy over here, and in the background you'll see some of my. I use Prismacolors, and I chose to do a different medium this go around. So what I'm doing here is I did a this is what's known as a acrylic wash, and it's kind of mixed media because I did use a little watercolor in the background. This is not finished yet. I'm going to actually work on it a little bit so you can see me in the process. The only thing I need to do to finish this piece is the nose. As you can see, the nose is white. I haven't really completed the nose, and you're going to see the variation here. So this is piece in a I forgot what other breed that it's going to be. She wanted it blue, and in the background, I guess, didn't really matter too much. So what I did was I thought it'd be kind of cool to like put the dog on, and you know, make it look like it was on a lawn of some kind, and try to do like a. So I did it background, and it was a bit of a challenge because with the white, it's kind of hard to, for me, it was hard to bring out some of the darks and where to place the tones. So what I did was I did a black and white. This is basically, you know, Xerox. So with this Xerox copy that I use as my reference, I use this black and white to help me kind of, you know, indicate more where I was going to place the shadows, where you see the different hues and the variations in the fur. And it was quite complicated because, you know, the challenge of doing this was I didn't want to make the dog look, you know, dirty or scruffy or whatever, but you know, just doing the best of my ability to make it look like how it's indicated here in this actual photograph. So in the photograph, it does kind of come off as not mangy or dingy, but you know, it's just how the light is being captured in the fur. But the fur does look kind of almost, reminds me of cotton almost, very fluffy and you know, like almost like a little stuffed animal almost. So I try to do my best in indicating that. So I'm gonna go from the, let's see, I'll start at the top here. So I did 2 different printouts. There's one there. And then, so I'm just panning from left to right, and then you'll see captured more so in the close-up. What was nice about using acrylic is that I could get the type of texture. I can't really, you could use the paint, and if you use the paint heavy and thick enough, it'll give you like almost a relief, and it gives you that raised feel, and that adds a lot, and to me that helps capture and brings life to this image here. Now you can't really do that with watercolor with the acrylic, because of this dog's fur and texture. The acrylic gave me more of, and with the light I hope you can see it, but you can kind of almost get an idea, thick and heavy, and get that raised look and feel. And coming on down, you can kind of see it even more in the fur here. So that kind of cotton and that able to capture that with the acrylic paint. So I was pretty pleased with how this turned out, because I was kind of, in the beginning, it's one of those things I wasn't too happy with the results I was getting, but it kind of worked out for the better for me. Get the nose done, and then I'm going to actually tighten up on the little, I'm gonna just call it a vest, even though I know that's not what it is, but I'm going to define that a bit more and bring that out. As you can see in the photographic image, it's on a carpet, and I did somewhat of a cross-hatching technique just to try to indicate grass, and I'm going to actually go into this a little more. So some of it up here is a little lightly done, and it's a bit transparent. I'm going to thicken that up a bit, make that a little heavier, and I'll probably just come around the edges of the fur a bit more to darken that up, to ground that a bit more. And I will probably do that as well with some of the blue. I have my Prismacolors here, so with the Prismacolors, they're great ways to accent certain things like this. So I'll go in, and then you can also just, you know, touch up certain little things. So to bring out some of the darkness in the fur and so forth, what I did and used, of course I used my Prismacolors, and you can always never go wrong with a, you know, #2 pencil. So that also gave me some nice grays and helped me accent some of the dark tones. Some of my favorite tools to use, and I'm going to get started on this, and then pretty much it's things done for the most part to enhance and bring out a bit more of not only the likeness, but to also do some separation and contrast between the actual foreground and background, and push that back a little more. So that'll give me the depth of field that I need as well, and go from there.